with the sequel, The Girl Who Played with Fire. And this story goes a bit more into Lisbeth's backstory a little bit more. The story follows journalist Mikael Blomkvist on the eve of exposing a sex trafficking operation, but the two reporters involved are murdered, and his friend, genius hacker Lisbeth Salander, is the prime suspect. Now, while Blomkvist is trying to prove her innocence, Salander herself is being pursued by forces that want her dead, or at least revenge. And this one is actually a pretty good read as well. It's a bit more action oriented, a bit more get into what's going on. It's a very good read. I really did like it as a follow up. And the thing about the first book and this story, it's like, okay, with all of the stories, of course, there's the main story of, it's not really a main story. It is and it isn't. It's like all of these stories share a main story, and it's really through the characters, not really the main story. Because if objectively wise, if you look at The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's more of a standalone. It's a good introduction to the characters, but it's more of a standalone. But if you end up reading The Girl Who Played with Fire, you have to read The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. And you can't read The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, which is the third installment in the series, without reading The Girl Who Played with Fire. But I think you can read The Girl Who Played with Fire before without having to read The Girl Who Dragon Tattoo. So it's more of a standalone, the first one, but it does fit. And that's another reason I like the series so much, that they're able to do that. But the story is actually pretty good. You get more in depth into Lisbeth's past. And in her past, you learn that her father used to beat and rape her mom. What led to her getting institutionalized, as well as more of, because the first book touches about her being institutionalized, but the second one goes a bit more in depth about the process and all of that stuff. Her experience is more in there, and more of how it leaks over to her real life and everything. And this also is where she starts to begin, which you do see it in the first book, but you see her taking more of a stance of her life. You see her standing up a bit more for herself in this book. It's a very good read. It's a really good follow-up. It's really good introduction to more characters. Again, I do really like Erica Berger. I like seeing her relationship again, how her and Mikael are on this mission together, and how she grounds the character. I just really enjoy her character. And when I watched the movie, I really liked the actress that played her character. So the whole time I'm envisioning her, really enjoy her character. Again, with the arrangement that they have, I think it's really a really interesting thing. But also there's a bit more that's going on, because the stakes are a bit bigger now. Her past is much more interesting than you expect, because you end up finding out that her father, which I'm trying not to spoil it, is a pretty prominent figure. And her father wants revenge on her for something that for a setup that she did. So there's a bit more family play. And again, it does pull out more about what's going on with her character. Now, that's not to say that Blomkvist isn't really doing anything either. I really enjoy his character and what he's got going on in here as well, especially with it being a bit more personal for him as well, because these two reporters that were killed were some of his friends. So you see how there's stakes of, okay, I could potentially die as well, because he's throwing his life on the line, as well as his name, his reputation, as well as trying to prove the innocence of his friend. And I really like that. I like how he's balancing all of these things, and how Millennium is on the ropes, against the ropes, and the reputation of that company and everything. I really, really do enjoy that. So, and then the cliffhanger is just crazy. Like when it gets to that last act, it's just freaking crazy. There's shooting, there's killing. It's a bit more gruff in this go around, but it's a good follow up to the first book, and it does a great job of expanding more into Lisbeth's life, and I really did appreciate that. Now,